Alright, so boom. We here. We're here, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about. I'm so pumped for this fight. Fluffy Hernandez is back versus Gregory Robocop Rodrigues. I don't know why I just added all that to it. But listen to me and listen to me well. You guys think you know what's going to happen in this fight. Gregory Rodrigues earlier, Fluffy late. Listen. You don't know what you're talking about. Alright, I don't know why I'm talking to you guys like that. But the way I feel like this fight is going to go, I feel like it's Fluffy all day. Or I feel like it's Fluffy's winning. If he happens to lose, it's Fluffy winning until he's not anymore. So the thing about this fight is, it's not the bedtime. We can talk about the chinny to the body and all of that matters. That does matter, right? Robocop, a guy who, I don't know if you guys have really been paying that much attention, but this isn't the same guy that we're used to seeing, right? Robocop is a guy. Let me just sorry. Robocop is a guy who he used to come out banging, right? Banging, just coming forward, freight training. He's a tank, right? He is still a tank, right? We're looking at 6'3", 3-inch height advantage, 3-inch, no, same reach, but a 3-inch leg advantage, right? And this is a guy who the way he wins is how he dictates the fight, right? He needs to be the one coming forward. And ever since we saw him gas out against Jared Cannonier, a fight to where he had Jared Cannonier out of there, right? He's been very, very cautious of his cardio. Now, you tell me, how do you think a guy who has been very, very cautious of his cardio is going to fight against a cardio guy? I think he's going to fight even more cautious, and I think that could hurt him, right? And obviously, you don't want to come forward just banging away, but a guy in Fluffy, you kind of do want to come and bang away. You kind of want to get him out of there early, right? You don't want this to extend because you have the power. You're going to be fresh. You're very flat. You're very fast twitch. Not really, actually. You're a tank, right? And you gas. You slow down. Whether you're trying to be very patient and whether you're trying to be very patient or technical, you gas. You gas, Robocop. You gas coming forward. So a guy in Anthony Hernandez who's going to come put you on your heels, it's not good. Robocop fatigues much faster going backwards. He fatigues when he's being pressured. And he's not very active on his back foot, right? He's lowered his activity and is more, he's setting you up. He'll pick at you nowadays, right? He'll throw the front kicks to the body. He'll throw the teeps. Got to be wary of that, right? Chinny to the body. He'll throw the roundhouse kicks, right? He'll throw them upstairs. He'll poke at you with the long straight shots. But when you get in his face, he opens his hip up and he wings, especially if he's going backwards. So Fluffy's going to come out and put him on his heel. And there's going to be adversity in this fight for Fluffy, right? This is a guy in Robocop, so I don't think it's a knock against Fluffy to where I don't think it's a knock against Ruffy because, quite frankly, I think Robocop can hurt and knock out anybody in the division if he lands. The thing about Robocop is he wings a lot when the pressure's on him. Anthony Hernandez, all he knows is pressure, right? All he knows is come forward. And he's very straight and he's fast. He's going to be throwing 3 strikes to Robocop's 1. There's not a lot of pop on him, but they wear you down. They're wear you down shots, right? He's going to rip you to the body. He's going to have to avoid the clinch for long periods of time. That's where Robocop's going to be throwing those big knees. And as we've seen, Fluffy, he's very chained to the body, but that's been happening, right? Sean Strickland finally capitalized on it and got the finish, but that's been happening, right? That's something that might just follow around Anthony Hernandez his whole career until he figures this out, right? Until he figures this out. But the thing about Gregory Rodrigues is going backwards, I'm not very confident in him, right? Those stabbing attacks kind of go away when you put him on his back up against the fence, right? When he starts to open those hips, Anthony Hernandez, he's going to be there to shoot the double, right? Gregory Rodrigues, he can grapple in his own right, but he's not going to engage in that. If he does, that's going to be a huge mistake because you're just going to tire quicker. And yes, he does have some crafty back takes, but he's not going to be able to finish Anthony Hernandez. I don't believe that at all. Don't believe that at all. If you can survive Brendan Allen on your back, I think you survive Robocop. I'm big on Brendan Allen, though. Louisiana's own. But the thing about Fluffy is, he's going to come forward. He's going to get in Rodrigues' face. Rodrigues isn't fast in his hands, but he's very powerful. And when he's backing up, he's trying to line up one big shot instead of setting things up and picking and poking at you. I think this could be a fight to where Fluffy's going to come early. Pause. He's going to come forward early. He's going to be throwing a lot of attacks. Not a lot of power on him, but he's going to be touched. He's going to be wearing Gregory Rodrigues down. And I think Gregory has a round and a half to get this done. Maybe 2. Right? But if he's on his heels the whole time, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And this is another one of those situations where I wish I had a crystal ball. Is Fluffy going to come out and just move around a little bit and just let Gregory tire himself out? Or is he going to come forward and force Gregory to fight him? Right? He's going to be in on and the more you grapple, takes away that power. takes away the power. It builds up the blood, the lactic acid in the arms, and it takes away the threat of being hit. But also, the longer you stay in these clinch positions, you can get tagged up to the body. So it's going to be very, very tough. But I think this fight is Anthony Hernandez all day. Or he's going to be winning until he's not. It's quite literally that simple. Anthony Hernandez is going to come in. He's going to fail a few takedowns. He's going to have to disengage. You don't want to stay in the pocket too long. But when you do get close, Gregory Rodrigues used to throwing hooks upstairs. Duck under those, change the levels, slip, rip. And Gregory Rodrigues is a guy, yes, he's a tank. Yes, he's very big. He's very powerful. He hits hard. But he's a guy who can be hurt himself. I'm seeing the Iron Turtle. The Iron Turtle sting this guy. Right? I'm seeing Brad Tavares hurt this guy. I'm seeing Bruno Ferreira, a guy who does hit hard. But it's because he's so open. Knocks him clean the freak out. Right? So you've seen Gregory Rodrigues. We've seen Jared Cannonier take this guy to deep waters. Right? A guy in Jared Cannonier who's not very durable in himself. Take this guy to deep waters. So I have to ride with Anthony Hernandez. I'm not gonna switch up on Anthony Hernandez. I think Fluffy's still that guy. Just think Sean Strickland. I just don't hold that loss against him. It's a nightmare matchup. Sean Strickland just beat Hamza Chimaev. Right? A guy who's super hard to hit, not like Robocop. A guy who moves his head, not like Robocop. A guy who deflects shots off his shoulders, not like Robocop. A guy who has a beautiful jab, which Robocop does have a good jab, but not a beautiful jab. Right? A guy who has footwork. I don't think Gregory Rodrigues has the footwork of a Sean Strickland to circle off, to get out of these traps, to negate the pressure. I think Fluffy's going to be able to control Gregory Rodrigues, cut the cage off, and just stay in his face. Or just have a presence in the cage to where he's there, but he's not really there to be hit. And Gregory's going to, when Gregory starts to get behind, he's going to start loading up. And I think this fight's just going to get out of hand. And I think Anthony Hernandez gets out early. I think he just stays ahead. And Gregory Rodrigues just looking for that one big shot to get back in the fight, which is very possible. I'll be a fool to think that Anthony Hernandez is going to dog walk Gregory Rodrigues. No, Gregory Rodrigues, like I said, against anybody in the division, has the power to change the fight. But Fluffy, I'm not switching up on Fluffy. I think Fluffy's going to have that speed. He's going to have that cardio. He's going to have better footwork. I think it's just a nightmare matchup for Gregory Rodrigues. Like, comment, subscribe, share this to somebody. Let me know what you guys think. Am I really underestimating Gregory Rodrigues? Am I a little too high on Fluffy? Is Fluffy done? Does Gregory just simply hit too hard, and does he just simply have too much girth? You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here, man. Yeet.